if you've been in the military, you just know that there is this one guy that is just not good with money. For some reason, I mean, y'all get paid on the same day, but there's always one guy who is just not good with money. For some reason, he's always, hey, man, can you spot me $40 to payday? Hey, man, can I get $100 for gas? Can I get this and that? You're like, damn, man, why are you always broke? Oh yeah, Big Jones the Juggernaut. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Unleashed. If you're still with us, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Follow for more content. Next month is going to be the 3rd anniversary that we have owned our house, and I want to give a special shout out to Bruno Nascimiento. I'm sure I mispronounced your name, brother, if you're watching, so correct me phonetically in the comments. Sorry, California public school education, but my man Bruno helped us buy this house during the pandemic back in 2021. Huge help, was very patient with us, very kind man. If you guys are in Southern California and you're looking for a house, he's definitely the man to be tracking on, okay? Bruno, brother, I love you. Thank you so much, man. Now, I'm going to get into the GI Bill stuff a little bit later in some other episodes, but what you guys need to know is that the GI Bill is basically where you will get your college tuition paid for by the military. And the GI Bill, I'm using the GI Bill right now, or I will be in the fall when I go back to school. But the GI Bill, it almost feels like you might get clipped for grand theft, because I've seen the bills that the military is covering for my schooling, and man, it is tremendous. It feels like grand theft, like I might get clipped by the IRS or something, but it's legit, but it's one of those things. It is a complete steal on the part of the military member, okay? Because what ends up happening is, I believe it's $50 per paycheck for 1 year. Now, if you're an E1 just starting off in the military, that can seem like a lot of dough, but believe me, it literally pays itself off in 1 month, okay, when you go back to school. But when you're young, especially if you're a young kid, 18, 19, 20 years old, it's just starting off in the military, $50 a month can seem like a lot, but it's not. The story goes is that there's this kid, I believe he's in the Navy, and he signs up for the GI Bill like we all do. I mean, there really is no incentive to not sign up for the GI Bill. I don't know why anyone wouldn't, but he signs up for the GI Bill, makes it through boot camp, makes it through A school. I'm not sure what his rating was. I'm going to say he was a corpsman because, why not? I'm a corpsman. Really, corpsmen only deal with other corpsmen. We're not really aware of any other ratings out there. So anyway, let's just say he's a corpsman. So he's a corpsman. He gets through A school. Maybe he goes to field med, and he gets stationed at his first command. He gets stationed there, and he's doing pretty good. He's, just kind of living the life. Maybe he's like 20. He's living the life. He's having a good time, showing up at work, doing what he's supposed to do, making gains, doing what he's supposed to do. He's a good sailor. So as what tends to happen with a lot of younger sailors, he meets a girl, and he's like super serious about this broad, man. I mean, he is like nose wide open, just, she's the one I've been waiting for my whole life, 20-year-old love. If you've ever been 20 and in love, it is more addictive than any drug out there, man. More addictive than anything you could think of. Being in love, young, money, and literally no responsibilities or accountability other than, showing up at a clinic, 5 days a week in the Navy. That is the most intoxicating thing ever. The kid has no bills except for maybe a cell phone, and he's got money and a beautiful girl. What could be better than that? Oh, we've all been there. So what ends up happening is this guy ends up spending all his dough on this broad. Now, if you've been in the military, you just know that there is this one guy that is just not good with money. For some reason, I mean, y'all get paid on the same day, but there's always one guy who is just not good with money. For some reason, he's always, hey, man, can you spot me $40 to payday? Hey, man, can I get $100 for gas? Can I get this and that? You're like, damn, man, why are you always broke? We're the same rank. We're the same rate. We have the same job. I don't understand why you're always broke. There's always one guy who always is broke, and this just started being that guy. but he's in love, and he's just whining and dining this girl like you wouldn't believe, man. He's taking her out, he's buying her presents. So this guy's really trying to figure out what he wants to do. Well, he makes the ultimate decision and says he wants to propose to this girl. So he goes on base with a little bit of money that he has and looks for a ring. So he finds a ring, and it's like, I don't know, say $1,000. The kid doesn't have that. If he's an E3, let's just highball it. Say he's an E3. He probably makes a little more than that a month. Maybe $1,200 a month. Maybe $600 a paycheck. That sounds about right for an E3 with less than 2 years in. Because the longer you stay in, the more money you make. But this guy's brand new, so he's not making jack. So he goes in, finds a ring, $1,000, doesn't have the money. So this guy gets the grand idea. You know what? I'm in love. I don't care. I need to marry this girl. I'm going to cash in my GI Bill. Yes, you can cash in your GI Bill. I have no idea why anybody would ever want to do that. I mean, the GI Bill, after you pay it, like I said, it's $50 a paycheck for a year. You get 2 paychecks a year. That's $1,200. So you could cash in your GI Bill for $1,200. Meanwhile, my tuition at the school I'm going to is $20,000 a semester. Well, this kid doesn't give a shit about that. He's 20 years old and in love, okay? He doesn't care about that. He's not thinking about college. He's thinking about a white picket fence that he can't afford and this chick that, he's in love with. He's not thinking like that. So he calls up to whatever department you call, and he says, hey, I want to cash in my GI Bill for $1,200. Now, thankfully, the person on the other end of the phone that he ends up calling at whatever government, department, thankfully, this guy was an old salt. This guy was a salty bastard. This guy served before. So he's like, he doesn't get this call every day because, like I said, it's ridiculous. Why the hell would you do this? So the guy gets the call and he says, okay, you want to cash in your GI Bill. Why do you want to cash in your GI Bill? And the kid doesn't want to say it out loud because if you say it out loud, it sounds ridiculous, right? So the guy said, he comes up with, my mom and dad need help, and, my car broke down, my dog ate my homework, whatever the fuck, right? I don't know. So he makes up a story, and the guy he's talking to just keeps countering. He says, well, I mean, you know what? Your parents, I'm sure they've got a 401k, they've got insurance, they've got, home equity, whatever, I'm sure your parents will figure it out. So he keeps on countering this kid until the kid finally breaks down. The dam breaks, and he says, okay, look, I didn't want to bring this up, but there's this girl, and God, I love her to death, and I'm so in love, and, he just spills it. He spills the beans. So this guy, he's an older guy. He's probably in his 50s, right? He says, oh, kid, come on, man. Listen. I understand. Look, I've been there, man. I've been in love. I get it. There's no love like young love. I totally get it. I've been married to my wife for 30 years, blah, blah, blah. He gives him the whole story, But listen, man, you got to secure your future. You need that GI Bill. You're going to want to go back to school. You're going to want, hey, what if you just use the GI Bill while you're in? Go back and become an officer. He's giving him all the good stuff, okay? So, but the kid can't hear it, man. The kid can't hear it. All he's thinking about is that juicy 21-year-old man, and that's a very addictive drug. So what does this guy do? The guy says, okay, you're a big boy. You were old enough to sign the paper to join, to enlist, so I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what you ask. Hey, you know what? You're right. You're free and American. You're serving our country. You damn sure can do it. He tells him all the warnings that once you catch it in, you can't get it back again. So he agrees, and they hang up the phone. So what does the guy on the other end of the phone do? What does he do? Here's what he does, and this is why this story, I believe, is 100% true. What he does is he sends a letter. He sends the paperwork to the kid's home of record. Now, was the kid 18 years old and joined the military from his own home? Of course not. He was living at home with his parents. So what does he do? He sends the information in an envelope. He mails it to his home of record with a handwritten note. Something to the effect of, hello, I had a wonderful talk with your son. I am so excited for him and his upcoming nuptials. So please have him fill out the enclosed information, send it back in, and we will be happy to reimburse his Montgomery GI Bill. Signed, Mike Smith, United States Marine Corps, retired. There is no one out there who treats Navy sailors better than the United States Marine Corps. That is a fact, okay? Especially hospital corpsmen. Like I said, I was a corpsman for 12 years. I had very little contact with the Marine Corps, but every contact I had was always positive. Nobody takes care of docs like the U.S. Marines, okay? That is a fact. So when that kid's parents, the kid obviously didn't tell his parents about it because they would have tried to talk him out of it too. So when they saw this handwritten letter from this retired Marine, obviously they called the kid. I think they even flew out there as well. The way the story was told to me is that they actually flew to where he was being stationed, talked him out of it. They didn't end up getting married, at least not right then, maybe down the road. I don't know. The point of the story is that the Marines treat corpsmen and Navy in general better than the Navy does. So you see a Marine out there like my buddy Bruno, God bless you. God bless the Marine Corps. God bless America. Thank you guys for watching the show today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, share, and subscribe to BJBL Unleashed on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram while you're at it, and I will see you devil dogs next time for more Unleashed.